What is the name of the boundary line between India and Pakistan? Radcliffe? Which country shares a border with Venezuela? Guyana? What is the capital of Germany? Berlin? Which sea lies between Saudi Arabia and Egypt? Red Sea? Which is the smallest continent in the world by area? Australia? In which country is Petra located? Jordan. Which of the following rivers does not flow through Asia? Danube. In which layer of the atmosphere is the ozone layer found? Stratosphere. Which is the largest nonpolar desert in the world? Sahara Desert. Which is the largest tectonic plate on Earth? Pacific Plate. Which of the following countries does not share a border with Saudi Arabia? Syria? Which country is famously known as the Gift of the Nile? Egypt? What is the capital of the Netherlands? Amsterdam? In which country is Machu Picchu located? Peru. Which sea lies between Australia and New Zealand? Tasman Sea? Which is the largest lake in the world by surface area? Caspian Sea? Which is the highest mountain in the Alps? Mont Blanc? Which of the following is a landlocked country? Austria? Which is the largest U.S. state by area? Alaska? Which is the largest country in the world by area? Russia? Which country is credited with the discovery of tea? China? Which country does not share a border with Russia? South Korea? Where is Stonehenge located? England? Which is the most abundant gas in Earth's atmosphere? Nitrogen? Which is the second largest country in the world by area? Canada? Which river is known as the Sorrow of China? Yellow River? Which is the highest mountain in North America? Mount McKinley? Kabul is the capital of which country? Afghanistan? Which sea lies between Romania and Turkey? Black Sea? Which South American country has the second longest coastline? Chile? Which country does not share a border with Afghanistan? Iraq? In which country is the Leaning Tower of Pisa located? Italy? Which country's capital city is Budapest? Hungary? Which is the deepest lake in the world? Lake Baikal? In which layer of the atmosphere do most meteors burn up? Mesosphere? Which country is crossed by both the equator and the Tropic of Capricorn? Brazil? Which sea separates Africa from Europe? Mediterranean Sea? Which river crosses the equator twice? Congo. Which of the following water bodies is landlocked? Dead Sea. Which instrument is used to measure earthquakes? Seismometer. In which country is the Atacama Desert found? Chile? Where is the Baltoro Glacier located? Pakistan? In which city is the Statue of Liberty located? United States. What is the equatorial circumference of Earth in kilometers? 40,000 kilometers. Which of the following countries does not share a border with Brazil? Chile? Which strait separates India from Sri Lanka? Palk Strait? What was the former name of Zambia? Northern Rhodesia. What is the lowest layer of Earth's atmosphere called? Troposphere. What is the capital of Chile? Santiago. Which of the following is a doubly landlocked country? Uzbekistan. Which of the following countries does not share a border with Germany? Italy. In which country is the Christ the Redeemer statue located? Brazil. In which sea is the Great Barrier Reef located? Coral Sea. Which sea lies between Cuba and Colombia? Caribbean Sea. Which country has the longest total coastline in the world? Canada. Which is the largest freshwater lake in the world by surface area? Lake Superior. Which river flows through the highest number of countries? Danube. Which country shares the longest border with India? Bangladesh. What is the capital of North Korea? Pyongyang. Which is the largest national park in the world? Northeast Greenland. Which city is known as the Harbor City? Sydney? Which country shares a border with Egypt? Libya? What was the ancient name of Iraq? Mesopotamia? What is the outermost layer of the Earth called? Crust? In which country is the Eiffel Tower located? France? Which is the world's largest gulf? Gulf of Mexico? Doha is the capital of which country? Qatar? Which African country has the longest coastline? Somalia? Which is the largest island in the world by area? Greenland? Which sea lies between China and Korea? Yellow Sea? Which is the coldest layer of Earth's atmosphere? Mesosphere? Which of the following countries does not share a border with South Africa? Angola? Which is the highest natural waterfall in the world? Angel Falls? Which gulf separates Finland and Sweden? Gulf of Bothnia? Which country has Riga as its capital? Latvia? In which city is the Colosseum located? Rome? Which channel separates the Andaman Islands from the Nicobar Islands? 10-degree channel. What is the second highest mountain in the world? K2. Which city is known as the Eternal City? Rome? Which is the longest mountain range in the world? Andes. Which of the following countries does not share a border with Niger? Sudan. What is the present-day name of the ancient country known as Persia? Iran. Which is the widest waterfall in the world? Konfafeng. Which country is referred to as the land of the rising sun? Japan. In which year was the USSR officially dissolved? 1991. Which of the following countries is not landlocked? China. What is the capital of Vietnam? Hanoi. Which of the following is a tropical grassland ecosystem? Savannah. In which country is the Taj Mahal located? India. Which is the largest ocean on Earth? Pacific. What is the height of Mount Everest in meters? Eight 8,849 meters. Which is the largest bay in the world by area? Bay of Bengal. What is the capital city of Nigeria? Abuja. Which country has the most time zones? France. What was the former name of New York City? New Amsterdam. Which city is famously known as the City of Lights? Paris. Which of the following latitude lines does not pass through Africa? The Arctic Circle. In which country is the Registan Desert located? Afghanistan. What is the longest river in the world? Nile. Which African country is separated from Europe by the Strait of Gibraltar? Morocco.